Good evening, YouTubers. My name is Norberto Cardona, and I'm going to show you here my custom and modified e-bike from Eurobike G4, also known as LeMans. I custom built this bike from the ground up. The only original is this small 17-inch frame, which is a folding bike, but as you can see, I'll put the plate in to mount the battery. As you can see close, I had to use two-way splitter cable households in order to mount the battery. Because of this notch here, can't fit the battery like that, so I have to level it in order to fit it. As you can see here, everything from the wheels all the way to the stem is modified and custom made. So I'm going to show you around before we start what I did with it. As you can see here, this is a 26-inch Shimano rims. As you can see, it's red aluminum. Very nice. Paired with a 20-inch Duro tires. These are street cruise tires. And heavy metal limousine fenders. Now we're gonna go around here. This is the triple tree gas fork from CPD Forks. Triple tree. There are three sizes. There are the standard forks, double crowns, and these are the triple tree. As you can see, it's 3 times the height. So it took me a while to fit this, since this originally is a straight pipe. So I had to order the double bearing. Well, this has double bearings, as you can see here, one on the bottom and one on the top. I had to put a couple spacers in order to fit. So got it from Blue Key. That's their name brand. As you can see, this is an actual, turn the lights off. This is an actual motorcycle mirrors. As you can see, the bolts. An actual motorcycle mirrors. These are metal and real glass, not the plastic ones that I had before, which breaks easily. So those are actual glass. Now here in the front, these are very powerful headlight. There's 3 settings. What I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn it off. Alright, as you can see, very powerful. We're going to turn the first one on. These are low beam. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn off the lights so you know how powerful it is. I'm going to shut the lights out. Okay. Now we're going to go in the front here. We're going to turn on the low beam first. That's low beam. As you can see, how powerful that is. Now we're going to turn the high beams. That's high beam right there. And now we're going to turn on the torch light. And now the best part is we're going to turn on the auxiliary lights, which turns orange. And then turn on one more time. We have the SOS and auxiliary. It's pretty cool. Off and back to auxiliary. Usually I use this. I use auxiliary lights and the light on the bottom here, which is hooked up to the battery, which is more as a fog light. So I'll turn the lights on again. Alright, continuing. These, I like this type of grips. These are real metal, very thin. And these, of course, it's a full twist right side throttle. I really like these better. Better than the thumb drive, the thumb throttle or any other. I prefer these better. Now, I did change. The one that I had before was the twist 7-speed Shimano, but I switched it to these types. Over the other side. Now these are 7-speed. Turn the lights off. These are 7-speed Shimanos, which it works better. I prefer the thumb drive, to be honest, and the only reason so I can have the same size for the left and right in regard to mirrors. So it's evenly, and I like everything evenly. Now, even though I only use 1 speed anyway, so as you can see here, this is first gear. First gear means fast. And on the cassette, as you can see here, this is a 7-speed cassette. I had 11-speed, but I downgraded to 7. And again, I only use 1 speed here. I don't use the rest of the speed here. The rest of the gears. I only use 1 gear, which is first gear. That's high speed. As you can see, quick release was better. The Sun Race M90 derailleur. This can fit up to 11 speed, but again, I fit it with a 7-speed. Works better. Now, since this is a 7-speed cassette, not a freewheel, I had to use spacers, as you can see right here behind here. I don't know if you can see it from here. But you can. It's the 2 red spacers. I had to use 2 of them. Because this rim, this wheel, you can actually fit a 10-speed cassette. 10 or 11, I believe. But I went down to 7. In order to fit a 7, I had to use a few spacers. It's the only way it would fit. By not using the spacers, your chain will come off easily. As you can see, these are braided lines. Now this chains, it is 6-speed chain. As you can see, it is a little bit thicker than your typical 11-speed, which I had before, which are thinner. And that's one thing I noticed, that if you have a 6, 7, 8-speed cassette, the width is a little bit thicker than from a 10, 11, 12-speed cassette, which is thinner. I noticed at first I didn't know the difference between them, but now I do. Now moving on. These are 203s, as you can see here. Yep, right there. 203s disc. Now, by stock, this is a 160, but I've decided to go bigger. In order to fit a 203, you have to have an adapter. Like you see, there's an adapter here. In order to fit a 180 or 203, in my case, I use the 203s. Now these are mechanicals, double piston brakes. Now I was gonna go with hydraulics, but I'm better off with mechanical. Now the reason I like these better is because here is an adjustment that you can adjust. Of course, in my case, I adjust the calipers close, almost touching the disc. Why? Because I live in a hill. So I live in a hill and 9 Cedar Street. So it's the only reason why I have it close, touching to the disc. It's not touching, but it's like 1 millimeter in between. And it's good brake at all. I'd really, again, this knob is to adjust. You know, closer this or far away, and it's double piston, so it is linked together. That's what I like about this. You don't have to have the little Allen wrench or anything else. All you have to do just with a knob. This is way much better than carrying tools with you. So wheels are from Shimano, tires are from Duros. Moving on, these are automatic brake lights. Of course I have two of them. Now it is built-in alarm system too, but these are automatic brake lights. So every time I hit the brake, whether it's front or the rear, the lights turns on. And it turns on automatically if I'm in the tunnel. That's if I have it in auto mode. Now moving on, these are stock rear shocks, which is okay. I mean, they're not perfect. I was thinking of replacing it with the hydraulic shock, but the spring type. So now these are metal pedals, better than the rubber ones, which I had before. But even though they're a little bit smaller, but it works for me. Even though I don't pedal anyway, I use throttle only. As you can hear, this is a speed sensor. So, and the magnet is, where's the magnet? Right there. There's a magnet. Now, as you can see, these are 12 gauge XT60, which is hooked up to the battery. Next cable here, all the way to the motor. So there's two types of connection. Well, it is the same connection, but it's two types of wiring. This is 12 gauge XT60, and this is probably the 14 gauge XT60 also. As you can see, even though these are waterproof, but I did tie down to make it secure so it won't move around. And I put electrical tape as for safety. Even though these cables are all waterproof, so there's nothing to worry about. And again, I do ride these in the rain, I ride these in the snow, all weather. Because this is an all season transpose. Again, these are 4-link suspension. Now these battery, it has, you go to the other side. This battery is a 52 volt battery. I had a 48, but I did upgrade. You can see it from here. Right, 52 volts, 20 amp battery. I had a 48 volt battery, but I upgraded to a 52. Now this motor, you can see here, you probably can see on the back. This is a 700, right there, 750 watt motor. 24 amps, 48 volt. Now it peaks up to 1500. That's almost double the size, double the power, which is impressive, to be honest. Now these is a 52 tooth, 52. The original was 42, but I did upgrade it. Sprocket. Now these are tensioner, and I like these a lot. Now, of course, the chain doesn't come off, but I always have this as a precaution. And I like these, to be honest. I don't have to worry about it. They'll fall off or anything like that. Now, again, this is a mid-drive motor, 750 watts, peaks at 1500. Now, these are bike locks. So I just take that out and put it on the disc. Yeah, so it's hard to steal, so I have these just for there. I do like the long fenders all the way down. Of course, I don't have the screws here for the bottom because this is not an antique bike. I had to use one of those, the plumbing thing, and it works perfectly. So at least it holds, and I like this better. Without this, I'm kind of screwed without it. But this, because of this, but this is supposed to when the bike folded, you can stand the bike folding. But I don't use the folded mechanism. This is just for show now, since the battery's up there, as you can see. So, moving on. The seat, they call them wide bumps from Rock Bros. I like these seats better. It has the airflow. And what else? I think I pretty much covered everything. Again, quick release on front and rear. Look how nice those discs are. 203s with a double piston caliper brakes. So I like this triple tree fork. I really like it. I mean, it is tall, as you can see. It is triple the size. Now, of course, this is a non-function, so there's no adjustment, anything. This is just for looks. It's non-function. Now, the same red spacers that you see on the cassette, as you can see here, 2 of them right behind the cassette. I had to use 1 of them right here in order to fit, because the stem from this fork, triple tree fork, it is big. You know, not the usual standard size. So I had to use a couple spacers. Like I had to put this upside down in order to fit. As you can see, it's not completely flushed. I mean, it does the job, because again, the stem is a little bit bigger, and this is a stock bike. So, but it works. It's smooth. You know, I have no issues whatsoever. I had it for a few weeks, so no issue. But I like that. I looked at it and I said, oh, I gotta get it bright red. So it matches with the rims, matches with everything. So overall, I'm happy. So it took me 15 months and $5,500. That's how much I spent, and that is the value of this bike, $5,500. It seems a lot. I mean, for that price, you can get a moped, or maybe a mini motorcycle or something. But I prefer e-bikes. And you're gonna see firsthand how fast this bike goes. Now, the previous videos that I made, which is the same bike as this one, top speed was 66 miles an hour. Of course, that's just, without weight, with not me on it, with no weight at all, because this bike is on the stand. But with me on it, I weigh 140 pounds, 5 feet 5. You're probably looking at 60, maybe 58 miles an hour with me on it, with me riding the bike. But like this, with no weight at all, it reaches 66. Now we're gonna test it again to see if it actually reached 66, or if it's changed numbers. Sometimes numbers change from 63 to 65 to 66. Who knows? As you can see, Bafang display. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this on. Oh, one more thing before we do. For the charging port is XLR type, which is, I love that better, way better than the standard port. I want to show you quick the charger. Now this charger is a little heavy. I like it big. As you can see here, it has 50 to 60 hertz, 6 amps for input 1 and 3 amps for input 2. So has a fuse here, has the fan going. As you can see, you could run at 110 or 220 volts, either way. But as you can see, it is XLR, and it's way much better than the standard port. Again, it's a little heavy end, metal, as you can hear it. Yeah, that's the charger right there. So normally, if I go top speed, this can last up to 45 miles before charge, and that is impressive, especially for a 52 volt battery. Now, if I go, let's say, under 40 miles an hour, or even 30 miles an hour or less, this can actually go 50 to 54 miles per charge. And if you're gonna go under 15 miles an hour, then it goes a little bit more. It can reach 60, depending, how fast I ride it, or depend on the speed. Again, it all depends on the speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. I'll close this first. See? We're going to turn on the display. I'm going to turn off the light here. Alright, as you can see, as different. So far, I went 146.9 miles so far. Now this has 9 settings, but again, I don't use pedal assist. When I go to the menu here, so you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see here. Okay, the pass, it can go all the way. You can see it here. Alright. Well, it can go all the way to 9. Do this again. Okay. See, it can go all the way up to 9. But I don't use pedal assist at all, because I use 0. 0 means throttle only. Alright. So as you can see here, I usually use power, SOS view %, and of course in this case I did modify a little bit, so I use 34-inch as a wheel, even though this is 26, not 34, but again, you can customize it. So go again. So 34-inch wheel, speed limit, as you can see right there, 60 miles an hour. You can go as slow as 30 miles an hour, which is, let's exit this out so you will see. You see, 60 miles an hour top speed, 1500 watts. Now, if I change it to 30 miles an hour, let's go down here, it says speed limit. Let's go, all right there. Let's go to the lowest settings. I guess you can go way lower than 20. That's 12. So in that case, that changes everything. You're looking at top speed of 30 miles an hour with a 750 watt, which is that's what this motor is. So let's go at 30 miles an hour. And again, these are pedal assist, but I don't use it. I only use throttle only, which is 0. So we're gonna go. I did change it to top speed of 30 miles an hour. So now what we're gonna do, press the minus button, and that's the walk mode. So yeah, that's that walk mode right there, which is pretty fast. Turn the light here. Okay. Alright, that's a walk mode right there. Again, this is in first gear, and that's what I use most of the time. I don't use the rest of the gears, even though it is 7 speed, but I only use 1 speed here. That's all I use. Now, we're gonna go see how fast we'll go since we changed it. Okay, we're 25, 30 miles an hour. As you can see, since it is spinning the sprocket, I'm not holding the throttle, as you can see. The motor is doing the job. Now, since I did switch it, top speed is 43, 44 miles an hour. Turn off the light here, as you can see. That's the top speed, because I switched it. Throttle, as you see, I'm not holding throttle. We're on first gear, as you can see. You see, I can increase the speed, even though the motor is doing most of the job here. I can increase it, as you can see here. We're in 45 now, so I'm going to put a little bit of throttle here. Now you're going to see the difference. See? I'm going to go top speed. Now, one thing to notice, I'm not sure, anywhere more than 60, more than 60 miles an hour, as you can see here. So right now we are 62.63 miles an hour, 63.5. So it is impressive, to be honest. Even I lowered the speed, and so basically means the speed limit is not, it's not so much speed limit, even though I did put 12 miles an hour, as you can see here. Alright. Now we're going to change this. As you can see here, speed limit, even though it says 12, but actually went 63. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change this to, because again, it is a big difference. Now we're going to go, let's go 30 miles an hour on this one. Even though I don't think the speed limit makes a difference anyway, because it will go past the speed limit. So we're going to go 30 this time. Now still shows 30, still shows 750. Now we're going to see. So the first test was 63.4 miles an hour. Okay, we're already at 52. That's pretty fast because I switched now. Now we're gonna hit the throttle lightly. That's why I prefer throttle only, because you can increase and decrease the speed accordingly. That's what I like about it. Instead of using the plus and minus, which is more for the speed limit, I would say. Right here, so let's go top speed on this one. See if it makes any difference. As you can see, slow, I won't say slow acceleration, but smooth acceleration. Now we're gonna go, that's gonna increase little by little. See how fast it will go. And it's 63.8. Yeah, so it's 63.8. So as you can see, 63.8. We're gonna hear for accuracy. Well, it says 60 here, but yeah. In any event, as you can see, 60 miles an hour. It is impressive. Now we're going to change this now. We're going to go very top speed. We're going to go 60 this time. And again, I don't think it makes a difference because it goes past 60 miles an hour anyway. But we're gonna go all the way to the top. Yep, all the way to the top. There's 60. Now it changes everything now. See? Now it says 60 miles an hour, top speed, 1500 watts. Now, again, peaks at 1500, even though this is a 750 watt motor. But it can peak to 1500. The highest it did is probably 1400 the last time I rode it. And we're gonna go again. We're gonna go walk mode. I don't think it'll make a difference, but usually it's 9 miles an hour. Yep, 9.9. Alright. Now we're gonna go, as you can see, it's fast acceleration. Even at 4% rotation, see, it goes pretty quick. We're already at 34 miles an hour. And I'm just getting started. So let's go more. As you can see, it vibrates. It's more of the motor. But okay, we're in 46 now. Now, one thing to mention: anywhere past 60 miles an hour, it will drop down to 30 now. It doesn't mean it drops down 30 miles an hour, but this can go even more. So basically, mean 30 means 60, 70, 80, 90 miles an hour. So this actually can go up to 90 miles an hour. Now, in order to achieve those speeds, it needs a bigger battery, and most importantly, a bigger motor, in order to achieve 90 miles an hour, which would be the world record. But that's anywhere past 60, it will drop down to 30, even though, again, it's not 30 miles an hour, it's just the way the display is. And I'm going to show you firsthand what I'm talking about. So now we're going to go higher. As you can see, it's a fast acceleration. So let's go top speed and lights out. So here we go. Alright. It's 66.5 miles an hour. 66. We're going to ease up the throttle. As you can see here. See, it says 54, 55, yeah, 54, 53. That's usually how it is on the display. Anything past 60, it will drop down to 30, so it's basically 60, 70, 80, 90. That's how it is. Let's do it one more time. Go top speed. You see? 66.5. 60, yeah. We're going to see, you can see 66.5 miles an hour. That's a top speed. That passes 60 mile an hour mark. Look how fast the throttle goes. Let me turn on the light. Pretty fast. And again, we are in first gear. And of course, I am holding throttle. So that's a top speed, 66.3 miles an hour. That is impressive for a 750 watt motor. Now, there's two ways. I can use the throttle, or I can hit the pedal. Now we're going to hit the pedal. Let's hit the brake first. That's why I like mechanicals. Brakes are good. Now we're going to hit the pedal. Instead of using the throttle, let's do the pedal now. Slow rotation. See? Look how fast it goes already. 66.5 miles an hour. See, that was less than 5 seconds. Now we're gonna go 0 to 60 to see how fast it will go. 0 to 60. Here we go. I'm gonna go fast acceleration this time. 3, 2, 1. Three seconds. 0 to 60 miles an hour under 3 seconds. That is impressive, especially for an e-bike like this one. Again, because I modified it. That's why it goes pretty quick. So, there you go. 0 to 60 under 3 seconds. No other bike can beat that. So, I like throttle only. As you can see, I can increase and decrease the speed accordingly. That's what I like about these. We're at 61 miles an hour. So, not easy to beat this bike, especially when you hit past 60 miles an hour under 3 seconds. Now we're gonna go pedal now. Small rotation. Alright. As you see, I'm not using the throttle, I'm using pedal now. That's what I like about it. See that? Right now we're at 56.5 miles an hour. Throttle or pedal is the same speed. See that? We go around. See? The motor does the job now. I don't have to hold anything. I'm gonna go around. Look at this move. Really nice. Yep, there's a speed sensor right there. Moving pretty quick. Yeah. Okay, sorry, brother. Yeah. Impressive, that's all I can say. Go one more time. Go again. So here we go, folks. This is a 26-inch Eurobike G4, a.k.a. LeMans. Now you see firsthand, this bike goes 66.6 miles an hour. Now you know, you can see it right there. Previous is 60.3. So, overall, it is worth it. 15 months build, $5,500 retail, and that's how much I spent for this bike. So as you can see there, we're approaching almost the end of the video, but when you see firsthand of the quality, and you know, it took me 15 months to build, and it's worth it. Again, even though it shows 66.6, again, because it is on a stand with no weight on it, but I weigh 140 pounds, 5'5", so we're looking at probably 58, 59, maybe approaching 60 miles an hour. Of course, top speed I've ever been so far is 48, and that's using the city street because I use this bike on city roads. Haven't done it in the highway yet, but maybe that's coming soon. So overall, I'm impressed with this bike. I'm happy and not a chance of selling. This bike is forever. This will be my transportation. So it's worth every money, every effort to build this bike from the ground up. The only original is this frame here, which is a small 17-inch. That's the only original. It's this frame and the rear shock. Everything else I built it myself. I customized it and modified it. Everything. So overall, I'm very happy with the results, especially the speed. As you can see, all tightened, it ain't gonna come off there. It's all waterproof. And again, I do like the way I set the battery up there. As you can see, it's a different type of screw because it's not your oil. It's not, again, it's not meant for this type of screw, but since it is a battery, I had no other choice. So yeah, it is straight. And of course the key is to take out the battery and charge it, but when I charge the battery, I leave the battery in there. I don't really take the battery out. So I can charge it with the battery mounted on the bike. Now this bike weighs 65 pounds. As you can see, I live on the 3rd floor, so I have to go down the stairs with this bike. It is a little heavy, I just have to get used to it. So 65 pounds this bike weighs, even though it is very light. Very light. That's why one of the reasons it goes very fast too. But it is a light bike. Again, 203 discs, I like it, those are the biggest ones. Yes, you can get a 220, but that's more for moped style bikes, which it cannot fit here. But I'm okay with 203s. 7-speed cassette, but as you can see, I only use one gear. That's all I use. I don't use the retro gear. I use the rest only if needed, but one gear is sufficient for me. So 7 speeds, some these are different. It is the same, but I just like this type of color. It is black chrome. I really like it. I just can't get over this motorcycle mirrors. But these are motorcycle mirrors, not your standard type mirrors that you see like any other bike. These are motorcycle mirrors that you can install on any e-bikes. And I got this on Amazon if anybody is interested. So you can get these on Amazon. Just search for motorcycle mirrors and it's the same thing. The tube is a standard 20, I believe it's 24.6 inch, but with a 31.8 inch stem, typical size. So overall, I'm happy, especially this triple tree fork. I really like this. Don't know why, I like it. It would be better if this would be functioning, but I'm okay with that anyway. You know, it's not a, I mean, it is a downhill fork, but I'm okay with it anyway. I just like it. By seeing it, I had it. But I had to make some changes and I had to modify it a little bit, even though it took me a while just to put this on because this is a straight pipe. But it actually works. So the bike, it is taller. Well, that's why they call it triple tree. It's 3 times the size than your typical fork. Overall, I'm happy. So there it is, folks. 26-inch Eurobike G4, a.k.a. LeMans. So it is a speedster roadster. So thanks again. Thanks for watching. You can check all my other videos from this bike from the beginning to the end, which I first built this bike. So, and charge it right there. I'm going to charge the bike, even though it is on 100%, but I'm going to charge it, just that little juice. So it'll be fully, you know. So there we go. Eurobike G4, a.k.a. LeMans. Enjoy the rest of the evening, folks. And thanks for watching.